Hi Team We Run, Coach Alexa here, coach for Reading, South Oxfordshire and online. So continuing my series of videos on sleep. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about our devices. So this is phones, tablets, computers, screens generally of any kind, including to some extent televisions. Now, there's a couple of reasons why these can have an impact on sleep. One of them is physical, and the other one I think is a little bit more sort of mindset, mental almost. So let's talk about the physical one first. So all our devices are emitting light from their screens in order for us to be able to see them. So even if you're in dark mode, so the screen is darker colour by default, or the apps and backgrounds are darker by default, you still get a type of blue light that is emitted that effectively, when it's seen by our eyes and the way our brain interprets it, is like a form of daylight. And when we get more daylight in our hours, that then has an impact on the flow of our sleep and wake hormones. So to help keep us in a rhythm, so we're sleeping when it's dark and awake when it's light. And it's a similar reason why you tend to wake up earlier. I'm tending to wake up earlier now that the sun's rising, not long after 5 o'clock in the morning, because that daylight increases our level of awake hormone, decreases our level of sleep hormone, and then when that light level drops, then the sleep hormone increases and the awake hormone decreases. But by this blue light being emitted from our screens, it effectively tricks our brain, tells our brain that there's more daylight than there actually is, which leads to us staying awake for longer, and that natural increase of the sleep hormone throughout the evening being somewhat disrupted. So there are kind of technological ways you can work around that. There are phones that have started to have settings like night settings which reduce the blue light emitted from them. You can get special glasses that block out the blue light. So there's sort of technological fixes to fix that physical impact that the screen use has on that sleep-wake hormone balance as the blue light is absorbed through or comes through our eyes and is processed by our brain. However, I strongly believe, and there's evidence that can back this up that actually there's another element to screen use, phone use, etc., that will still have an impact on our sleep other than just purely looking at the blue light impact. And that is, I guess, the distraction value. So particularly with things like our phones, social media apps, and this includes running-based social media like Strava and other training trackers, they are designed by people to increase your usage of them, because when you use them more, they get paid more by the advertisers that use those platforms. So I always say beware of anything that is free, because you are not paying it with your money, but you will be paying for it with your time, because they'll be encouraging you to spend more time on that so that their advertisers get more views and clicks and interactions, etc. So there's a lot of similar behavioural kind of pattern targeting to social media as there are for gambling apps, for example, to get you to keep scrolling, keep clicking, keep refreshing. And that will have an impact on our brains too. So if you're still looking at your phone at 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, your brain is kind of in go mode. It's being shown all of this content, it's trying to process it all, it's trying to deal with it all, not particularly relaxing. So it might mean that you practically stay up a bit longer because you're like, oh no, I've lost an hour looking at social media. Whoops, haven't gone to bed when I should have done. It could be that your brain is still, in that kind of, oh, look at all this stuff, all this information processing mode. And it also could be that it then carries over when you are in bed and trying to get to sleep. There's lots of thoughts still sort of buzzing around your head. Your brain hasn't really got into sleep mode, it's still in information processing mode. So as much as there are these lovely kind of blue light reducing tools, my favourite blue light reducing tool of an evening is to put my phone on a shelf over the other side of the living room after dinner, and we eat dinner, you know, relatively early, about sort of 7 o'clock-ish, and then not look at it again until after breakfast the following morning. Now, this felt really hard to start with, but actually I'm really feeling the benefits. Now, obviously, people use their phones for lots of reasons, lots of important things. People might need to get hold of them, etc. But I would encourage you to have a little bit of a play with notifications, so it's not kind of buzzing you and calling your attention, particularly in those couple of hours before you usually go to bed. I'd encourage you to maybe think about putting it to one side, putting it on silent mode, etc., and just reducing that amount of time. I'll come on in a future video to talk about bedtime routine, but as much as the blue light side of things can impact our sleep, I truly believe that distraction element and that sort of almost semi-addictive nature of particularly social media and the apps that they come on is also having a bit of a psychological impact on us, which is not going to help us get to sleep or get to bed on time. Food for thought. Food for thought. Happy running.